It's crunch time at Frito-Lay. The push for the 4th of July holiday. In the next week, the crew will make over 1 million kilos of Doritos, Fritos, and the all-American classic.
This right here is a perfect potato chip.
They'll run 12 production lines, 24/7, then bag, pack, and ship out to the grocery shelves. It's a race to the picnic table.
It's gonna be a tough 4th of July.
At Frito-Lay's Ultimate Chip Factory. Welcome to Frito-Lay in Perry, Georgia, one of the biggest chip factories in the world.
Great, we can handle that.
Well, we're just under 1 million square feet. We have 12 production lines, 1,500 people to coordinate. We make Lay's, Doritos, Fritos. We make fake Lay's, Cheetos. Most of the portfolio of Frito-Lay is made in this facility.
The factory is divided into 4 main areas. The bakery, where they make products like cheese puffs, Funyuns, and pretzels. The corn room, for tortilla-style products like Doritos. And the potato chip production area. At the center, a 65,000 square meter distribution center. The crew usually makes about 300,000 kilos of salty snacks daily. But now, they're stepping up production for the 4th of July holiday.
We'll run 24/7 right up into the holiday to get that product to the market.
Frito-Lay's #1 seller is the classic potato chip.
We are in a lot of pressure right now. We got to make nearly 2 million bags of potato chips by the 4th of July.
And for that, they'll need potatoes. A lot of potatoes.
We order 20 trucks a day, which is 1 million pounds. So we cook 1 million pounds of potatoes here at the Perry plant every day. The fresher the potato, the better the potato chip looks going in the bag and going to our consumer. We like to get them in here right out of the ground, run them right through the fryer and in the bag and on the way to a consumer in 6 to 8 hours, and that's fresh.
But before they accept the load, the crew does a quality check.
Looking for the perfect potato. I don't want them too big, I don't want them too small, and I don't want any defects or green on them. Taking the pulp temperature tells me how hot the potato is. That'll help us understand exactly how long they'll last. This potato is pulping about 82, 83 degrees, which is a little warm, but for this time of year, it's normal. When they're pulping this hot, we want to get these run through the fryer as quick as we can so they don't break down.
They also put the spuds through a water test.
The solids of a potato tells you how much meat compared to water is in the potato, the density of the potato. This number right here, 17.7, is is actually put in the computer on the fryer, and that tells the fryer how fast to run them chips off of this potato through the fryer. Now we're gonna put them in a bag.
The process starts with 6 peelers that roll and rub the spuds until skinned and clean.
Roughly between the 6 peelers, we have almost 1 million pounds of potatoes going through over 24 hours. So you're looking at at least 300,000 per ship.
Peeled potatoes then pass through an automated inspector.
And as they're coming through, it's kicking out a lot of the foreign matter, the defect potatoes, the rotten potatoes, just making sure the only thing that's processed are the good potatoes. The way it works is it's got basically some fingers across the whole unit, and when it sees a bad potato, it kicks it out.
Next, a slicer shaves each spud into thin layers.
The potatoes fall in, and this head's turning, and it actually takes the whole potato and slices it into small chips. It actually slices the potatoes right here. Let me show you. If you look in here, the potatoes are falling in, going to this head. The head's turning, and it slices the potatoes. When it goes in and the whole potato, when it comes out, it gets in slices. A good potato chip is the thickness. It's very important that we have the right thickness before it gets fried.
The uncooked chips pass under a vacuum system to remove the excess water. And into the fryer.
This right here is our fryer, and it's really, really hot. It's roughly 350 degrees. You got slices going in, and you got chips coming out at the end of the day. This makes my day. We're seeing 7,000 pounds of potato chips coming out to meet the 4th of July volume. This right here is a perfect potato chip. It's got the right color, and it's crisp, and it looks beautiful. There are no defects. The art of this job really comes down to make sure it's fried correctly, make sure it's peeled correctly, making sure that everything is running like it's supposed to, make sure that we are within spec, making sure the whole process is making a perfect, consistent, quality chip. There's a lot of technology and a lot of automation that goes behind it.
The result is a perfect golden disc. And if it isn't, it's toast.
This machine right here makes sure that we kick out any bad chips, and hopefully they don't get into the bags. Here's got a brown spot, and that is a bad chip for us.
Here's how it works. As the chips fly past, the system scans each one, registering any anomaly in color. If it's not right, a precise air jet locks in, takes aim, and blows the chip out into the reject bin.
It goes really fast. It's going almost 500 feet per second right now, but it's precise.
For those that make it, it's on to seasoning. The team can run 4 flavors at a time, depending on the order. Today, they're doubling up on 2 favorites, plain salted and barbecue. Tubes inside this tumbler eject the seasoning, coating both sides of the chip evenly.
It takes 5 minutes from the slicer to the end of the fryer into seasoning to make a chip. 5 minutes.
first load of the day is through. One down, 19 more to go. Potato chips are Frito-Lay's #1 product. But there's another chip making a run for the title. Doritos. At Frito-Lay, the next load of potatoes is right on schedule. And on the far side of the yard, other ingredients arrive by rail.
We have 7 railroad tracks outside for all the rail cars bringing us corn, potatoes, oil. They'll drop off 3, as many as 10 to 12 cars a day.
The corn is for their other snacks.
Fritos, Tostitos, and Doritos.
3 multi-billion-dollar brands. But the top corn seller is Doritos. A tortilla-style chip engineered for a bite and a crunch. To make corn chips, the crew uses over 45,000 kilos of corn a day. It starts in the bin room, where a series of tanks and filters clean it. And then heads to the kitchen.
This is the first part of making a Dorito. We got to cook the corn before it goes to our soak tank.
Each giant kettle holds just over 900 kilos per batch.
We cook the corn in excess of 200 degrees for about 4 minutes.
Then it soaks for 12 hours.
The corn soaking process allows for the moisture uptake in the corn. It also helps remove the husk from the corn, the hard outer covering of the kernel.
Then they grind it into dough.
And once we grind it, it comes over here. We have 100% corn that's called masa. From the masa, we're checking for 3 things: the moisture content, how wet it is, the temperature, how hot it is, and then the coarseness of the product, actually how gritty it is. What happens from here, the masa goes between these 2 rollers and against the cutter that cuts it and gives our characteristic Dorito shape. It's the triangle without the points.
Next, they cook them. First, the chip heads through an industrial toaster oven, which seals the outer surface, trapping moisture and causing the dough to bubble.
Good blisters and great texture. Blisters, that's what gives us that Doritos crunch that we all love so much.
The team then cools the chips back down on a series of conveyors and sends them into the fryer. A few minutes in scalding vegetable oil, you now have a basic Dorito. Add seasoning, and you're looking at a $4 billion a year product. Today, they're running the classic, nacho cheese.
That's the kind of Dorito we're looking for. Great Dorito, great crunch. You want to try a chip?
The crew needs to make about 500,000 kilos of Doritos before the 4th of July. At Frito-Lay, the crew is running full speed to fill the 4th of July orders. But the potato chip crew have hit a snag. One of their 2 truck unloaders is down.
Is there any way we could get maintenance out here to look at it?
What you got?
They're already loaded probably 4 or 5 more trailers for me, and they'll be here. If this dump isn't working, then they'll sit here until it does get to working. Right now, it's 97 probably out here with a heat index of about 103. So potatoes won't last long on these trailers. It's a big deal. I've got 20 trucks to unload today, and if I just have one dump, then that takes twice as long. And my potato quality will go downhill because they're sitting out here in the hot sun.
But in a facility this size, it's just one of a million things that can go wrong.
5, 6 top items for the weekend, so I'm in the loop, all right?
It's up to the engineering crew to keep it running.
Headed into the holiday season, we always try to do a good amount of preventive maintenance. But there's so much equipment in this plant, so many drives, gearboxes, motors, something's gonna happen.
With 12 production lines running 24/7, the crew needs to be ready for action.
We could have an issue with the rail car, so we could have a little small photo eye or a laser go out, which backs a few cases up. The worst thing we can have happen is a power outage. In the summertime in the southeast in Georgia where we're at, we get a lot of lightning strikes, those afternoon storms that come through. When we're trying to get product to the market, the last thing we need is the power to go out.
Hey, fellas, y'all about got it?
About got it, Jeff.
All right, great.
Everybody clear?
That was quick.
But for now, crisis averted.
Yeah, 10-4, Craig. We're clear. Go ahead. You started.
There we go. Get us up and running quick. Cool. Appreciate it, Jeff.
And that's just as well, because when it comes to potatoes, there's no time to waste. Once they pull a spud out of the ground, they've only got a short window before the tuber starts to break down.
This potato, it went rotten.
That's because chipping potatoes are bred with a very thin skin to cut down on waste. So the farms that supply Frito-Lay, like Black Gold Farms in Florida, must harvest within days of delivery to the factory.
Perfect size, nice round white chip. This is what you want it to look like. We planted this field, basically 105 to 110 days ago with the intention of it coming out, of us harvesting this week. Here we're sort of at a race against time, and now we're just getting into harvest, and we need to keep moving. In the next few weeks here, it's going to be 100 degrees, and they'll basically cook in the ground.
Once they're harvested, the spuds head for the wash house. They travel along a series of shakers and sieves to eliminate dirt, grass, and rocks. The taters then pass through a short water bath and onto the grading tables.
These
ladies are our last line of defense. When all those screens and sieves don't catch, they're gonna catch. They look really good. Quality is probably as good as it's gonna get right now.
At this point, the potatoes are still hot from the ground, so they send them through a hydro cooler.
Turn it off.
A cold water bath.
I'm kind of the gearhead of the family, so I'm here helping set up this new hydro cooler. If we don't get the potatoes moved quick, they'll rot. They'll break down on us. As soon as they're harvested, you've turned the clock on as far as their life and their durability. So we have to do everything we can to get those potatoes made into chips as quickly as possible. This is the inside of the cooling tunnel, and so we've got cold water circulating around the potatoes. They're submerged in it and circulating around the potatoes at just below 40 degrees. So that allows us to take the temperature out of the potatoes. It's real important because the potatoes down here in Florida are hot. The pulp temperatures are really hot, so we got to get them cooler so they last longer.
The spuds must meet strict quality standards. If they don't, Frito-Lay rejects the load no matter how much they need the shipment. That's where the QC girls come in.
We grade the potatoes, we search for greens, anything of this color, and then we classify them by size. If they don't fit through this, they go in the goods, but if they're small enough and fit through, they go in underside. Green is not good, and green is actually from sunburn. Like how when we get sunburnt, we turn red, well theirs, they turn green, like photosynthesis. We don't like to find heat necrosis, which that's where the potatoes get heated up so hot underneath them, it makes the center of them turn different colors. So when you fry them, that adds a discolor to it. Then when you slice them, you want to try to get perfectly in the middle because that's where the heart is. And this is pretty good. In fact, it's really good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a perfect potato.
Next, they fry up all the potatoes to grade the overall quality of the sample.
And it's got a little bit of green on it. You place the potato chip in the water, which removes the starch. And then we place them on the towel, and we pat them dry to remove the excess water. Because if you've ever fried before, you know not to put water in with the oil, because you will start a fire. Our oil has to be 360 degrees for it to be a perfect fry. And the whiter the chips, the better it is. With our chips, they want it as white as possible, and we also grade by color. This is the best, this is and then that's just somebody forgot about the potato chips. We call ourselves potato chip connoisseurs. You want to remove them right before they stop bubbling. And see how there's such a small amount of bubbles now? I would call them done. Just kind of unstick them. And from here, we grade the chip. And you want to make sure to check every single one, that way you don't miss any of them. This potato chip here we would call an external defect because the brown is on the outside. If it was dead center in the middle, it would be considered an internal defect.
It may not look like much, but on the Frito-Lay production line, it's enough to get it rejected. But with only 2 defects, this load looks like a winner. They load the potatoes and give them one final check.
We like to get about a tennis ball size potato to check the pulp, and we like to check it one more time just so we know what's going into the truck. We like to triple check things here. And it's down 74 degrees, so it's getting much colder, so that's a good thing.
Each load runs about 20,000 kilos of premium potatoes. And in just a few hours, these spuds will be chips. At the Frito-Lay factory, everything is running smoothly.
Hold on a second. I gotta check a few things out up top here.
Once the fresh chips leave the kitchens, they travel through a system that shakes them gently onto the next stage. All conveyors, ladders, drops, and scoops vibrate slightly so chips never hit a hard surface.
When you open a bag of our product, do you like to see broken chips in? No, nobody likes that. So what we try to do is we shake them along so they don't break apart. If we tumbled them and moved them through a regular conveyor, they have a tendency to snap. And a lot of times you can't see it, you have to feel it, because sometimes it's a little bit of vibration, or the more product, the more vibration you need.
Next comes packaging. The chips shuffle into position. Then they drop down to the measuring machine, where a series of scoops precisely weigh out a bag's worth of chips. Finally, they drop into bags on the ground floor. The bagging machine blows in nitrogen and closes it with an airtight seal. This displaces the oxygen, so the chips don't become stale, and creates an air pocket that acts as a cushion so they don't break.
That's what we want. We want a whole chip. We don't want the broken chip. We want the whole chip.
In the next few days, the Perry plant will need to ship out about 1.5 million cases of chips for the 4th of July rush.
I'm a pacer. Martin is kind of heavy right now, so we be working a lot right now. She has a smaller bag than I do. So she's working faster than me.
Potato chips, Doritos, Fritos, Tostitos. These are Frito-Lay's heavy hitters, each topping $1 billion a year in sales. But over in the bakery, there's another chip with a loyal following.
I love Funyuns.
This is the Funyun production line.
They're called the Funyun because they're fun and they have an onion flavor, so we call them Funyun.
They start with a basic ingredient: cornmeal.
We add cornmeal and water to this apparatus. We mix it up, and then it goes over to that particular hopper.
show you how we make a funyun. We have cornmeal and water coming from that hopper through an extruder that forces through the die. It creates a popcorn effect that turns into a funyun.
This is what's called the extrusion process. Inside this machine, the cornmeal and water are heated and kneaded along a central screw. Under pressure, the water stays liquid, but as the product is forced out through the die, it hits a lower atmospheric pressure and flash expands, causing the dough to puff up and cook instantaneously.
I'm inspecting these products to make sure that the reams are uniform, to make sure that there's not much expansion, to make sure the product's pretty consistent. After we fry them, add the seasoning, then it's a funyun. Prior to frying, they'll call it polette.
The rings then travel through the fryer. And into the drum, where a salt and onion mix gives the funyun its flavor. Today, the bakery is also making Cheetos and pretzels. In total, another 3.8 million bags of chips headed out the door for the 4th of July holiday. But outside, a thunderstorm has moved into the area.
Main propulsion. Here we go. Come on, let's go. All right.
And the factory takes a hit.
Good. Go ahead, take somebody upstairs and get all the drives reset. Okay?
That's number 2.
We just had a power outage right now, so the entire facility lost power. We have all the fryers have product inside them, so we have to get that evacuated out because we have hot oil and raw materials in there.
The team springs into action, trying to restart.
Wait for it to boot up. Okay.
But this storm ain't done. At Frito-Lay, the chips are down.
The main power coming into the plant has taken a few lightning strikes. We've been on the phone with our power company. They're rolling to us right now in their trucks to try to help us recover. Now it looks like we have power back to PC in half of the corn department, so that's a good sign because we do still have hot oil in the fryer and we do have product in it. Guys, it in a minute, so watch your hands. We're inspecting each of the fryers, make sure there's no fire inside them. Jerry, how's it looking there? Everything okay? All right, nothing smoking, nothing smoldering? Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, that's good, that's good.
With the power back on, the team can get this factory restarted.
You guys look, guys. No, we're up there. We'll get it back up. All right, I got guys upstairs resetting all the VFDs. Not real concerned right now. We've trained for this. We've been through this before. Everybody knows what to do. Everybody's in their proper location. We'll be back up and running in a few minutes.
Can you let the vendor room know they need to reboot their OIT also?
But first, they have to clear the burned product.
right back up.
I want to get everything cleared out of the oven. As soon as we get everything up, reset upstairs, I want everything out of the fryers and everything out of the oven. Just keep an eye on the oil and the fines. Watch for smoke. Okay. Call me if you need me, okay? I'm going to go to line 3.
With all systems restored, it's time to get the production lines back up and running.
12 channels of radios in the facility, different groups on different things. We've got to communicate back and forth before we start anything up.
So this is a mess. We don't like to be down. You can't run 1 million pounds a day if you ain't running.
Okay, you have guys on it right now?
Yeah, got
all right.
Okay. It's coming up.
Bag maker's okay?
Yep, I think they got the airbag going on.
We do have air coming from the core plant, so you should be good here in a little bit.
Okay.
Is it all cleared out, ready to go? Cleared out. We're make sure the oven's working. Okay, everything else is running, air, conveyors, good to go. We just need to make sure the boilers are fired, ready to go.
Everything is already set. We verified everything before we started up. Everything looks good. Right now we're good. We had a little bit of a downtime. We got the recovery done. We can start back up. The other method we've been down, it means we gotta make sure that every chip we run gets in the bag. It means we lost some production, we'll make it up though.
All in a day's work.
The teams lost valuable time. With only 1 day left to deliver for the 4th of July push, they head into overdrive.
Minutes may not seem much to the average person, but when you're on the 4th of July and everybody's having picnics, everybody's having a family get-together, that's a key portion of our operation. Mother Nature dealt us a wrong deal on this one. We just got to respond as best we can, get back up, and try to get that product out the door.
By day's end, they're back on schedule. And an army of machines is ready to rock out delivery. This is the Frito-Lay warehouse. 65,000 square meters of storage.
Okay, so it'll extend the runtime till 7 p.m. tonight? Great. All right, great, we can handle that. Thanks.
It's up to the warehouse crew to get the product from the factory to the customer.
They're back up and running, and their production is going to be able to meet our demands and get our product out on time. Our power didn't go out, so we're good.
And there's a mechanical army primed for action.
Our warehouse is definitely a very, very cool place to work. We do have, we've got AGVs, our automatic guided vehicles. We've got a high-rise that houses about 3,000 pallets of product and about 40 cases on each of those pallets. It is 9 stories high. It's operated by 6 cranes automatically, so we're not going in there and going up 9 stories and picking cases. The system is doing that itself.
Boxes of chips ride the rails from packaging into an automated system that sorts them into brand. Then stacks them on pallets. AGVs transport the pallets to the high-rise storage area, where a scanner checks the barcodes, then whisks them onto storage racks soaring 9 stories high. Now the system picks product to fill orders. This happens 2 ways. Large quantities of single product headed for distribution centers get pulled and loaded into trucks. But Perry also assembles smaller mixed orders designed for delivery direct to the supermarket. For this, they use a team of hand pickers.
The pickers use a voice picking system. The truck that's being loaded, its order is sent to this system. The order is then read, if you will, to the picker over the headset. The picker is told to pick a certain quantity of a certain SKU. They pick that item and they respond back to the system telling them that they got it, that they picked that item. They have to get used to it and it has to get used to them. It has to learn their voice as much as they have to learn how to listen to it. Because it does do voice recognition. They have a lot of different commands that they can speak to it, and it has to know what they are saying.
The mixed loads travel a conveyor direct to the loading area, where a machine feeds the boxes into the trucks.
This is the T-Rex, and basically it's called a T-Rex because you can see that the head of it essentially moves up and down, and it helps the loader get those cases onto the trailer without causing major stress and strain, and is also very delicate with the boxes. Trying to make all of these moving parts work together is what can be a little bit daunting sometimes. So we have to make sure that every system is working, we have all the right people in place, that everybody is working efficiently, individually and as a team.
This snack-making metropolis has 1 night left to make the holiday orders.
Right now, we're looking good.
Making a lot of chips.
And finally, at the 11th hour, the team pulls it off.
We made our nearly 2 million bags, but it's been crazy. Extremely crazy. We'll start back up on the 5th, all over again.
It's finally a little bit quiet here after a hectic holiday season. Well, we shipped out about 1.5 million cases over the 4th of July, about 10% of all of Frito-Lay's volume, so huge volume.